ChatGPT. Relate ACIM to the movie The Upside of Anger. The Upside of Anger through the lens of A Course in Miracles. ACIM. The Upside of Anger is a deeply human story about grief, projection, judgment, forgiveness, and the hidden pain that often lies beneath anger. Through the lens of A Course in Miracles, it becomes a powerful lesson in how the mind uses anger to protect itself from feelings it does not want to face. At its heart, the movie asks, what is anger trying to hide? This question is central to ACIM's understanding of the ego. Anger as a defense. Terry's life becomes dominated by anger after her husband disappears. She blames, judges, accuses, complains, controls. From the ego's perspective, anger appears justified. The ego always believes it has a reason, yet ACIM teaches that anger is rarely the primary emotion. Anger often protects something deeper: fear, loss, grief, guilt, vulnerability. The movie beautifully reveals layer after layer beneath Terry's outward frustration. Projection. One of ACIM's central teachings is projection makes perception. The ego takes internal pain and projects it outward. The world becomes the problem. Other people become the problem. Circumstances become the problem. Throughout much of the film, Terry believes her suffering is caused by external events. Gradually, it becomes clear that her perception has been heavily shaped by unexamined assumptions. The movie serves as an excellent illustration of projection in action. The story we invent. A major theme in the film is the story Terry constructs about what happened. She creates explanations, motives, conclusions, interpretations. The ego constantly creates narratives. Then it mistakes the narrative for reality. ACIM teaches, I do not know what anything, including this, means. The movie repeatedly demonstrates how fragile our interpretations can be. What appears certain may not be true at all. Judgment. Throughout the story, judgments are everywhere. People judge one another. Families judge one another. Friends judge one another. The ego survives through judgment because judgment reinforces separation. ACIM teaches that judgment obscures vision. The more certain we are about our interpretations, the harder it becomes to see clearly. The movie gradually reveals the limitations of certainty, grief beneath the anger. As the story unfolds, it becomes increasingly clear that grief lies beneath Terry's anger. Loss, disappointment, abandonment, fear. ACIM teaches that healing begins when we become willing to look beneath our defenses. The ego prefers anger because anger feels powerful. Grief feels vulnerable. The movie beautifully portrays the courage required to face what has been hidden. Relationships as mirrors. The relationships in the film function as mirrors. Each interaction reveals something about the beliefs being carried. ACIM teaches that relationships are classrooms, not because others cause our pain, but because they reveal what remains unhealed within the mind. The movie repeatedly demonstrates how conflict can become an opportunity for awareness. Forgiveness. The movement toward healing occurs as certainty begins dissolving. Judgments soften, assumptions weaken, compassion grows. ACIM teaches that forgiveness is not about excusing behavior. It is about releasing the interpretations that keep suffering alive. The film beautifully portrays the healing that becomes possible when rigid stories begin to loosen. The Upside of Anger. The title itself contains an important insight. The upside of anger is not the anger itself. The upside is what anger reveals. Anger exposes hidden beliefs, hidden fears, hidden wounds. When viewed through the Holy Spirit, even anger can become a doorway to healing. ACIM teaches that every ego reaction can be repurposed for awakening. The movie demonstrates this process. The collapse of certainty. One of the deepest ACIM themes in the film is the collapse of certainty. The ego wants to know who is guilty, who is innocent, who is right, who is wrong. The movie gradually dismantles these rigid categories. As certainty weakens, understanding grows. This mirrors the miracle. The miracle is a shift from judgment to perception, the central reflection. The ego watches the upside of anger and asks, who hurt me? The Holy Spirit watches the upside of anger and asks, what pain is this anger protecting? Viewed through ACIM, the movie becomes a profound lesson in projection, grief, and forgiveness. Terry's journey is not really about anger. It is about uncovering the pain beneath anger and allowing it to be healed. The deepest message may be, anger often appears to be about others, but it usually points towards something unhealed within ourselves. The ego uses anger to maintain separation. The Holy Spirit uses awareness to reveal what is asking for love. When judgment softens, healing becomes possible, and what once seemed like a source of suffering becomes a doorway to peace. Go to mwge.org to find full movie and commentary by David Hoffmeister.